Welcome to This Week in High School Sports. I'm Teresa Whipple, and we have, Steve, so much from our sponsor, Red Onion Burgers. I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, I don't either. A burger in a box. It is Red Onion's Burgers. It is a combination of 16 burgers and buns, chips, cookies, lettuce, tomato, pickle, onion, fruit, 16 pieces of bacon, and cheese, all for one nice total of $24.97. And get it now at Red Onion Burgers over in Mountlake Terrace on the corner of 212th and 44th. I sound like such a commercial.
You certainly do, and appropriately so. And of course, summer's coming up, so probably a good time to have something you can take with you and feed a crowd at your house, right? Or on a picnic?
Or at least 6 people anyway.
Or a crowd of 6. That's true. You get more than one.
Or 8 small people. Who knows?
All right. Okay, but the most important thing is that, oh my gosh, we had so many wonderful performances this past week at State. And where do we start? Probably with...
Well, it's state championship week, so
Yes.
we crowned a few different champions this weekend. We'll start with the softball team. The Meadowdale Mavericks, the 2016 Meadowdale Mavericks, who have been to the state tournament 5 straight years. They've placed third 2 of the last 3 years. Took that third place away this year. They're coming home with a championship trophy. So congratulations to the Meadowdale Mavericks. They played 4 games down in Lacey. Day number 1 was a very interesting day. They had 2 games. Squeaked out a couple of them. They defeated Bainbridge 4-0. It was a 1-0 game going into the 6th inning. Great job by Lauren Dent, who's been phenomenal all postseason. She throws a shutout. They get the victory. They then move on to the quarterfinal game where they went up against Lake Washington. Very tight game. They scored 3 runs early, held on to a 3-0 lead. Lake Washington started chipping away a little bit, got it down to a 3-2 game. Lauren Dent pitched her way out of a jam at one point. They end up getting the 3-2 victory. Turn around the next morning and they wake up to a Marysville-Pilchuck team in the semifinals, a team that they split with during the season. They lost during the regular season, defeated them in district play. So we were wondering how this game was going to go, and it was over pretty quickly. Meadowdale 5 home runs in the game, 2 from Julia Rubel, 2 from Emma Helm. Emma had 4 home runs for the tournament. Yeah. Sam Gregoric had a home run. Just a lot of offensive power in this game. They won 12-2 in 5 innings. After the 5th inning, if you're ahead by 10 runs, the game's automatically over. So they advanced to the championship game where Quinn Breedenbach, who is the Gatorade Player of the Year in the entire state, phenomenal pitcher for Enumclaw, was waiting for them. And all Meadowdale did was put up 6 runs in the first inning off of Quinn. They end up rolling to a 10-0 victory, and they are the state champions. Great job for the Meadowdale Mavericks. Rather than talk any more about it, brought a couple of the girls in for interviews. We also have some interviews that we did over the weekend via Periscope. The first interview you're about to see was done after the first game against Marysville-Pilchuck, the game that qualified them for the championship. And then the second interview was a team interview that we did right after they won the championship. Those 2 interviews will be followed by a studio interview we have with Madison Buchea and Lauren Dent, 2 players for the Meadowdale Mavericks. And here they are. And here we are live in Lacey, where today the Meadowdale Mavericks have advanced to the state championship game in softball. Yeah, you can clap for yourselves there, ladies. Nice job. This team has been finished third 2 of the last 3 years. They're not going to finish third this year. They've got 1 game left, and it's the state championship game. So what is it like for you to know that you're finally over the hump and you've made it to that championship game? What does this mean to you, and how does this feel right now?
You know, we're making history. No one's ever finished in Meadowdale softball better than third. So we're just excited to put our name in the record books.
Keep the legend going.
And I think that, this team especially is one that really, we're so close, so we all just want to win this so bad, and I'm just happy that we're doing it as this group specifically.
As a team. Yeah. It's not one person, it's everyone, and I think that's a really big part of playing softball.
Have a new state champion. The 2016 Meadowdale Mavericks, and we've got the ladies right here. Ladies, congratulations.
Thank you!
First state championship, you've been down here 5 years in a row. What does this feel like for you?
Feels fantastic. It feels like that first bike you get for Christmas. There's not a better feeling.
There you go. I think that trophy right there is a little bit more valuable than that. Hey, again, ladies, congratulations.
Thank you!
Great job. South Snohomish County, Edmonds School District, proud of you. And go Mavs.
Go Mavs!
Now, Lauren Dent and Madison Buchea, 2 of the key players on that Mavericks team, fresh off of winning the state championship. And ladies, before I ask any questions, Got to put a picture up there on the screen right now. Just less than 24 hours ago, or just a little over 24 hours ago, you celebrating with your teammates. And we've got another picture there too, if we can run that. A lot of celebration taking place down in Lacey as the new state champions. Madison, I'm going to start with you. 4-year player at Meadowdale. You've been on varsity the entire time. You're one of 4 seniors on the team. All 4 seniors have played on varsity for 4 years. The 4 of you have had third place finishes twice. This had to be pretty special for you.
It was really special to us because third place, like, it was like cool, all that stuff. But we've always, all 4 years, or even like before that, people who used to be on the team, we've always set the goal for first place. And so to finally get there, it was like the best feeling in the world.
And you'll take it. Lauren, I know you're only a junior, so you didn't experience all of those runs, but certainly you've been on varsity now for 2 years. You experienced the tournament last year. It had to be a thrill for you as well to win that tournament.
Yeah, it was amazing. Just all the hard work has paid off, and it's just like great to like get to this point and like be able to celebrate like with my team. And yeah,
Definitely. Now we need to talk a little bit about the tournament. I'm going to go back to district a little bit. So that's a week ago. Normally I wouldn't go back that far, but Lauren, you to say you were spectacular at districts is an understatement. You pitched 3 games again, and Madison's already shaking her head. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You pitched against Oak Harbor, Marysville Pilchuck, 2 different teams that had beaten you during the regular season, and then you faced Everett in the championship game. You gave up 1 run total in the entire tournament and only 6 hits. You had 1-hit shutouts against both Oak Harbor and Marysville Pilchuck. I know you didn't even pitch varsity until last year during that district tournament, so this is all new to you as far as postseason play. What is it about the postseason that's kind of bringing out the best in you right now?
I was really pumped because we had talked about like our goal was to win state, and I thought that I just brought it to another level because I was like the whole team was just pumped to go in, and I just had a mindset that I wanted this really bad. I wanted this for myself and my team, and so I think that's what really like drove me to like do my best was that.
And you got it done. So then you moved on to state this week. You knew you had to win 4 games. It's double elimination tournament, but really if you lose 1 game, you no longer are eligible to win the state championship. So really you need to win 4 consecutive games. Madison, I know a lot of the teams that are in this tournament, you don't necessarily know them very well. When the brackets come out, do you really study them that carefully, or do you just figure it's 1 game at a time?
We go into like some kind of studying and kind of research background like stuff about them. But other than that, like you kind of have to play your game the whole time. Like we play Meadowdale ball, like we know what we're doing, just focus in.
And just take it at
Yeah.
that. Now, the first game was against Bainbridge. 4-0 game was the final. It was 1-0 in the 6th inning. So really, Lauren, you had to kind of keep your team in it. The bats were a little slow to wake up. It was a 9 a.m. start, I think.
Yeah.
Any nervousness during that game at all, knowing that the game was so close and so tight?
I was definitely nervous because it was the first day of state, the first game. But I like had a total confidence in this team, and like just I felt like even though the bats were on to begin with in the first 6 innings, I knew that it would happen because it's been happening all year. So I had total faith, and I mean it takes only 1 run to win a game, and I would do my job and shut them down if I needed to, and so. Yeah.
And you did a great job of that. And then game number 2 was against Lake Washington.
Yeah.
Another very tight game. You got 3 runs, I think it was in the 2nd inning, to take a 3-0 lead. And then you end up having to hold on for a 3-2 victory. Madison, what was that game like for you? I know you had an RBI, I think, for the 3rd run in that game. It had to be a big
Yeah.
moment for you.
Yeah, no, it was honestly like having such close games because throughout the season, sometimes we didn't have very many. And so like it just makes you want it more. Like you have nerves, but it just has the like nerve to just push you and just want it like so bad because we've been wanting first place. And we had the mindset of we're only playing 4 games this week.
We got flies in the room right now.
Sorry.
That's all right. Hey, we move on to Saturday of the semifinals. You're playing a Marysville Pilchuck team that you'd already played this year. Lauren, in the first inning, you give up a run. You know it's a Marysville Pilchuck team that's pretty tough. Any nerves at that point? Were you concerned at all that, oh no, maybe this is one of those days where you just don't have it, or did you settle back down pretty quickly?
I was nervous again. It was like just the pressure of like not being able to lose 1 game to get first was just kind of, that was a lot of pressure, but I felt like confident once again that we would get it done, and I kind of settled down after the first inning, just got rid of the nerves and just like did what I had to do, and I thought it was like just after that first inning, it was fine. It was like we kept rolling.
And then in the second inning, your team goes off and gets 7 runs, so that has to help the nerves, right? Madison, all of a sudden the bats, which were averaging 12 runs a game all season long, started to come alive. I know Emma Helm, 2 home runs in that game. Julia Rubel, 2 home runs. Sam Gregoric had 1. Everybody was getting on base. What was it like for you once you and the team once you got going there?
It was honestly awesome. Like we just kept hitting because like once you start, it just spreads. Like one person led to another, and just like we had multiple back-to-back home runs this weekend, and so it was just a great feeling to just keep it going.
At that point, it was on to the state championship game. You played an Enumclaw team that features Quinn Breedenbach, Gatorade Player of the Year, the hyped pitcher, if you will, and everybody was wondering what kind of a game she was going to have. We knew that there was a possibility that one team could throw a shutout, and the pitcher that's sitting with us right here did, in fact, throw one. You only gave up a few hits. You spread them out. 10-0 game. You got 6 runs on Breedenbach in the first inning. I know you got hit by a pitch, so you got on base. I think, Lauren, you got on base at some point there, too. Tell me a little bit about what that game was like for you in terms of just going out there and getting those 6 runs early. It had to be a huge confidence builder.
It was a huge confidence builder because she was so hyped that we had it in our heads, like, okay, we have to get her. Like, we have to hit this ball. And so once we started, it just, like I said before, it just keeps building on top of each other. And so that's how we, yeah.
And now, Lauren, I have to ask you, Quinn can also hit a little bit. And I think she had, 4 home runs during the tournament. I know when talking to Dennis Hopkins, your head coach, before the game, he mentioned that, at some point, if he feels like it, he might just put her on and walk her and let the rest of the lineup try to get to her. First inning comes up, there's 2 outs, she's up to bat, and I think some of us in the crowd thought maybe that was the time when you were going to just intentionally walk her. Did the conversation ever come up, and if so, what was said?
Yeah, he mentioned to me before the game that that would be the plan, but I said that I would be willing to face her, and I had confidence in throwing to her instead of walking her. And we'd gone through pitch sequences before the game, what would work best, and just figuring out what her weaknesses might be, and then just going from there. And it worked. And we kept her to pop flies and all that, so it was good, yeah.
So you get that final run to make it 10-0. The game's over. You're celebrating. Was it everything you kind of dreamed it would be? Madison, I'll start with you.
Even more than that. It was just right when it happened, the tears just started coming. But it was happy tears. And it was just the best feeling because our mission was complete.
Lauren, what about you? Did you envision that moment maybe the night before a little? Did you allow yourself to kind of have that thought?
I was playing going through the games in my head the night before, what could I do? And I just imagined winning, if we were to win, what it would be like. And it was just, like Madison said, so much more than I had imagined. And it was just such a special moment. And I can't even it's still to me is unreal, and I can't even explain it. It was just super cool to just be able to experience that with my team. It was just amazing.
Definitely.
Honestly.
We've got some action photos we want to put up too. There's one of Lauren pitching at the tournament, so I'm sure a lot of special memories from that. Any one moment in particular that means more to you from the tournament?
Honestly, I would say it would be just that shutout game, just being able to get because my arm at that point was pretty sore, and I was just pushing through to the last inning, and just to be able to get that done, and then my team had me behind in offense, just got it done, and it was just such a cool moment. Just after that, when Emma got that hit, it was so cool. That was probably my favorite moment.
I would agree with that. Now at Madison, we've got a picture of you. I have to tease you a little bit here because there's a picture of you wearing your outfit there for softball.
Yeah.
You had to change pretty quickly after this game, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
So you're celebrating. You just won a state championship. What comes after that?
Prom.
Prom, is that
Yeah.
later on? I was going to say that night, but your pictures were supposed to be 4:30, which was about an hour and a half later.
Yeah.
Walk me through what that situation was like, what the moment was. I know somebody on the team helped you with your hair and your makeup. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, Lauren did. she was just awesome on the field and off the field. Honestly.
MVP all over, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So now, where did you, hotel? Did you change in the car? What did you do?
Yeah, we went straight back to the hotel after celebrating. Lauren curled our hair, and just straight from there we went to prom. Well, we went to dinner, And then Lauren's doing makeup in the back of the car. It was
As
very
you're
stressful.
driving, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
my mom's driving, and it was stressful, but it was like we got it done.
Yeah.
And how was prom? I heard, who was the prom queen?
Me.
Okay, so she goes from winning the state championship in softball. A few hours later, she's prom queen. That's quite the afternoon / evening.
Yeah, it was a great day.
You'll take it. Now,
Yeah.
I've got to ask you both a little bit about colleges. I know, Lauren, you still have a year left, so you've got a little bit of time. The fact that you had such a great pitching performance at the tournaments, both tournaments, anybody talking to you yet, or what's your situation right now?
I've definitely had some colleges like talk to me, but I haven't really figured out like what I want to do yet, or like if I want to go to a small school or a big school. So it's just trying to figure out that, and then hopefully I find the college that I want to go to this summer when I'm playing summer ball. And yeah.
And in Madison, you're a senior, so
Yeah.
what's next for you?
I'll be going to Wazoo next year. I will not be playing softball, but possibly intramurals
So your last,
to keep the career going.
so your last softball game ever as a player for a school,
Yeah.
it was the state championship game.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't want it any other way.
Not a bad way to
I
go
was-
out.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Very nice. Now, I do have one last question. So, Lauren, you were in here a little over a month ago. We had you in here for an interview. You mentioned to me at the time that there was some sort of writing going on wristbands or on wrists before games, but you said you couldn't tell us what it meant until after the season. It was a secret. Now that you're state champs, can we let the secret out of the bag?
Yeah, so it was GBG, and it means go beyond good, because that was like our plan all year, was just to be better than we were like at the start and to get to that goal and just really apply it in every single game. And we did, and I'm just so proud of like our team and sticking to that. And yeah.
So third place in state last year was good. This is going beyond good than first place, right,
Oh,
Madison?
for sure. Yeah.
To take it. So, again, state champions right here. Ladies, congratulations. Lauren,
Thank you.
great job. Best of luck to you next year as well. Maybe a
Thank
repeat.
you.
We'll see. And Madison, great career for you, and best of luck at Wazoo.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations to the Mavericks, and they certainly weren't the only ones to do great things. What about track and field?
Yeah, we had another state champion. This time it's the Linwood Royals. It's the girls' team. First state championship in 26 years for the Lady Royals, and nice job by them. We had Coach Lewis in the studio just last week, and we're asking him what it would be like to get that state championship in his 50th year of coaching, and he got it. So congratulations. Mount Lake Terrace, by the way, finishing third as a team down there at the Mount Tahoma tournament, which took place in Spokane. Edmonds-Woodway finished 12th. So we had 3 of our girls' teams finishing in the top 12. So congratulations. And we also had some state champions in the individual events. Mikayla Pivec from Linwood, she threw the javelin 147 feet, winning it on her final throw of the day. Going into that throw, she was 1 inch behind first place, so she overtook the second place finisher by almost 14 feet. So Mikayla had a great weekend. Shanae Okoronkwo from Mount Lake Terrace, she already had 6 state championships coming into the weekend. She now has 9. She won the pole vaults, long jump, and triple jump again. Second straight year she's won all 3 of those events. She's a 4-time winner in the triple jump. She's won the pole vault twice, the long jump 3 times now. Heading off to the University of Wisconsin to keep continuing her career, and possibly one day maybe the Olympics are in store for her. So we will continue to watch Shanae. And then Yukino Parle from Edmonds-Woodway, only a sophomore. Yukino edged out Malia Pivec, also from Linwood, by 1 second in the 3,200 meter. A 3,200 meter that saw a handful of Edmonds School District participants, as Catherine Walter from Mount Lake Terrace, she's a senior, she finished 6th in that event, and Olivia Meader-Yetter from Edmonds-Woodway, only a freshman, she finished 9th. So a nice day in the 3,200 meter from our Edmonds School District participants. Other members of our track teams that finished in the top 4 or 5 in the state. We have Jordan Edwards, who took 2nd in the 400 meter. Vernice Keys from Jordan Edwards from Linwood. Vernice Keys from Edmonds-Woodway taking 2nd in the girls discus. Harris Cuddick from Linwood, who we had last week in studio, he took 3rd in the boys discus. Rita Sakharov, who we've also had in studio, she's from Linwood. She finished 3rd in the 300 meter hurdles. She took 5th in the 100 meter hurdles. Mikayla Pivec, who we just mentioned for the javelin, also finishing 4th in the 800. Grant Whitcutt finished 4th in the high jump and 5th in the pole vault. Grant is from Edmonds-Woodway, another one of the athletes we've had in studio. So we've
Yeah.
gotten to know so many of these kids.
Maybe
and
we give them good luck after they
I think we're
come on
picking
the
the
show.
right kids
Yeah.
to come in here
It
too.
could be
But,
too.
yeah, Grant's a phenomenal athlete and a
Yeah.
great kid who's going to Montana next year to participate in the decathlon. And then the girls 4x400 team at Linwood took 2nd in the state. And this is a team that's made up of Mikayla Pivec, Rita Sakharoff, Natalie Brown, and Jordan Edwards. Finished in 2nd place, but more importantly for them, that was the final event of the day, and that's the one that clinched the state title for the Royals. So great job by them. Also have some pictures to put up here. Shanae Okoronkwo, who we mentioned a moment ago, there's her participating in one of her jumping events. So again, look at her now, because the next time you see her, maybe she's wearing Olympic gold. Who knows? And I believe we had another picture to put up also. That is Yukino Peril from Edmonds-Woodway crossing the finish line when she won the 3,200.
That's great. Well, it's a great day to be from the Edmonds School District if you're looking for success. So it's really fantastic.
And speaking of success, we have a couple of our successful young ladies that we brought in to interview tonight. Why have one Pivec sister when you can have both of them, right? So we brought in Mikayla and Malia Pivec, who we've just talked about here momentarily. And we asked them a little bit about not only their weekend and what it was like to win that state championship, but also about their careers at Linwood and what it's been like competing with one another. Here's that interview with Mikayla and Malia Pivec. We continue championship week right here with 2 more state champs, Mikayla Pivec and Malia Pivec, both from Linwood High School, both participating on the Linwood track and field team that just won the girls state championship. First time in 26 years for the Royals, before either of you were even born. Congratulations on the championship.
Thank you.
Mikayla, we'll start with you. You're a senior. What does this mean for the team to win a state championship?
It's a big moment for us. Last year we placed 3rd, and this year we came back and won it. Last time this happened was 26 years ago when my distance coach, Stephanie Tastad, was a runner for Lewis. And in Lewis's 50 years of coaching, to stay that long and to have 2 championships within 26 years apart is pretty cool.
Now, Malia, we talked to Coach Lewis last week. That's Dwayne Lewis, who's in his 50th year of coaching, 45 of which was at Linwood, or has been at Linwood. I know you're very fond of Coach Lewis. What does it mean for you as a team and as a team member to get him that title?
It's amazing to be able to win it for him because we wanted to make this 50th year really special so he can hopefully stay for another year for Rita and I, senior year. But I'm really proud of Mikayla, Rita, Joe, Emily, and all the other state athletes that took home the title this weekend.
So quite a few names there, everybody accumulating points. 4 of the names that accumulated points took place in the 4x400 meter relay race. Final event of the day, final event of the entire tournament. Linwood's down by 1 point at that point. And Mikayla, you run the first leg. You know that you have to finish in the top 7 out of 8 teams. It's an event that you knew that you're capable of possibly even winning. Did you and the other 3 girls talk a little bit about strategically, did we want to run this differently? Do we want to run it conservatively just to make sure that we don't disqualify ourselves? What was the mindset going into that race?
We knew we wanted to win it, and we just tried to run individually as best as we can. And if we focus on the handoffs and try not to a false start when I was in the blocks, that was key. But just once we got the handoffs off, run as fast as we can, do get as many points for our team.
And they finished 2nd in that race, so they obviously won the state title, only losing to Enumclaw by 1 second. Jordan Edwards ran the final leg of that race, and Malia, I was watching as soon as Jordan crashed to the ground after she crossed the finish line in exhaustion. The first teammate over to greet her and to check on her and to celebrate with her, essentially, was you. So what did this mean to you at that moment in time? What was your mindset? What were you thinking?
Well, as an alternate on the 4x4, I served as kind of like the positive interior source of encouragement. And so I could see everything that was going on, cheering on the girls at the different points they marked me to cheer them on at. And I saw Jo come and finish. I want to congratulate her on the team title and the 2nd place finish in the 4x4.
Now, overall, you win the state championship as a team. Track and field can be such an individual sport at times. I know a lot of the events that you're taking part in are you're running by yourselves, or whether you're throwing, whether you're running, whatever it might be. What is it like to win the state championship as a team as opposed to maybe an individual? And Mikayla, you've done both. I'll ask you, what does it mean for you as a teammate to win this title?
It means a lot because each race or field event, we're cheering on everybody, and it's not just you, but all the points that you accumulate add up to a team trophy, and just the atmosphere and the community behind us was pretty big.
And one of the ways in which you accumulated points was through the javelin. You won your first state championship as a javelin thrower. I know you had a sore shoulder last year, so you missed the entire contest. You had the numbers going into this to win it, obviously. You had put up the longest throw of the year. I know going into your final throw, though, you were in second place and you needed a big throw. Walk me through that moment in terms of what are the nerves like? Are you overthinking at that point? And apparently you must not have been, because you went out and put up your PR at that point. I think you ended up winning the contest by 14 feet or almost 14 feet.
In the prelims, I got a throw out to 133.6, and depending on how you do in prelims, and they set you up for that order in finals, and I was the last thrower in finals. And then first round, everybody does their, you get 3 throws, and for first throw, everybody didn't surpass what they did in the first round. And then the second throw comes around, and a girl from Sumner throws 133.7, 1 inch further than what I did. And
1 inch further than you did.
Or actually, it was actually the third throw. So on everybody's final throw, she threw 1 inch further than me, and I only had 1 throw left. And running through my mind, I'm like, darn it, 1 inch, oh my gosh, I have to do this now. And my coach just told me to get my speed up. Coach Herzog and Coach Dema, who've helped me throughout the year on my javelin throw, just told me get my speed up, have confidence in yourself, and ended up launching it farther than 133.7.
And the final throw was 147, is that right?
Yeah, 147 even. So PR, and happy to win a state title as well.
And I know one person that was very happy for you sitting next to you, younger sister here, Malia. Did you know right away she had the throw?
After she released it, I saw it hung up in the air. I was a little worried because the wind, I felt, came on. I was just like, stop, wind, stop. And right before she did the run-up, stayed calm, relaxed, whipped her arm. You could see the torque, and it launched in the air and kept sailing. And I saw the 140 line, and it went past. My dad, Coach Lewis, Stephanie, everybody who was around, we cheered. Mikayla, I don't think, even knew how far it was until she saw us cheering. So she's like, hey, I think I might have got the state title. And then they do the laser jet thing, and they said 147. And then Mikayla cheers, looks at us, and cheers.
And gets the ribbon for it, gets the trophy. Nicely done.
Thank you.
Now, you had a big moment also. You were in the 3,200. Mm-hmm. I know it's been an interesting couple of weeks for you. I know you struggled a little bit at the districts, a little bit of an illness, if you will, and I know weren't feeling all that great. And that's not exactly an easy event, the 3,200, when you're not feeling 100%.
Yeah.
Trying to build yourself back up after that. Endurance races can be tough. Walk me through your race a little bit. I know you led most of the way, and then Yukino Parle from Edmonds-Woodway ended up catching you at the end, and you took second place, but you missed first by 1 second. I know, and we should also point out a few other Edmonds School District representatives in that race too, right? Catherine Walter from Mountlake Terrace finishing in 6th, and then the youngster, Olivia Meadowdale from Edmonds-Woodway, the freshman, finishing 9th, so that had to be a big moment. But finishing second, were you happy with that result, knowing what you were coming off of over the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, I was really happy. I was in the lead pack for most of the way, so I wasn't totally leading, but I like to go out fast, and so I was hoping some of the other competitors would take the pace out fast, but it was 5:30 first mile, so not that fast. And then I think after 6 laps in 100 meters, I took over, so without 700 meters to go. And I knew Yuki finishes really well, so I just tried to escape her, and I didn't know she was on me, but my dad said after that point it was pretty much a 2-person race. So me and Yuki, and then I was leading until the last, I think, maybe 80 meters, and she went past, and I just tried to finish strong, not knowing who was behind me, just trying to maybe regain the lead.
Well, that has to be fun for you too, knowing that you're a junior, she's a sophomore, rival high schools, both in the Edmonds School District. So the two of you, you've already run against one another quite a few times. Mm-hmm. You've got another year left as well as Olivia, for that matter. It should be a fun year next year. 3,200 could be an exciting an event for the next 12 months for you then too.
Definitely.
So we will see how that goes. And then Mikayla, you also had a 4th place finish in the 1,600, another event that was crucial for getting points for the team. Tell me a little bit about your afternoon in the 1,600.
It was, I threw 3 throws in javelin and had to go run the 16 because it was at 4 o'clock and javelin started at 3:30. So I warmed up a little bit at jav and then came over and ran it. A girl from Holy Names ran pretty fast, so I knew I wanted to try to stay with her, and stayed behind them, and they passed me with 100 meters to go. And there's first 2 girls were way out there, but there's a group of 3 or 4 of us, and the last 100 meters to go they passed me, and then I passed them back right before the finish line, ended up finishing 4th.
And like I said, those points went a long ways. Knowing this was your senior year, did it make it that much more special for you, knowing that you didn't have another chance to get a team title?
Mm-hmm. The last time running the 1,600, probably ever, timed, so I just tried to give it my all.
and accumulated those points. So a nice job by her as well. Let's talk a little bit about some of the teammates. You mentioned some of them by first name a little while ago, but really it wasn't just the two of you that accumulated these points, right? It took a handful of other runners and throwers to get these points for you. Let me hear a little bit about what it's been like for this team this year and how it's been working with them.
Well, Rita Sakharov, we call her Rita Big Meat Sakharov because she always performs. And she took third in the 300-meter hurdles behind Heather Donis and Madison Jurgen. And we knew those two were pretty much out there, but she ran a very strong race and PR'd and set the school record. So 44.21 is now the 300-meter school record
And then
for Linwood.
5th in the 100-meter hurdles as well. And then she was also part of the 4x4 relay and the 4x2 relay. And then also Jordan Edwards ran the 400, 200, and then helped us get the second place finish big time in the 4x4 relay.
This was a busy day. And we should mention the 4x200 meter. I don't want to get too political here, but a team that had aspirations of maybe winning the state championship. And I noticed that one of the runners went and talked to one of the officials before the meet, asking where they should stand for the exchange of the and they were told where to stand, and then when they were standing there, they ended up getting disqualified for being in the place where they were told to be. So we think the 4x200 might have had a special day to come too, but unfortunately it wasn't meant to be. But
A little mixed up, and unfortunately at the cost of some points for our team.
yeah, fortunately you didn't need those points though, right? So you did get the championship and you got the trophy. I want to talk to you a little bit also about just what it means for you, Mikayla, in general. You've your legacy at Linwood. You've won a state basketball championship trophy now. You got the Gatorade Player of the Year. You win the pole vault. Have you had a chance to think a little bit in terms of what this means for Linwood, what it means for just being a part of the Royals and being something that's people will talk about for years to come?
It means a lot. The 2 state championships brought a lot of support and camaraderie with our community, and it brought a lot of people together to cheer for us. Even alum that had been there 20 years ago came back to watch us at the state meet. I know Stephanie was texting some of her Linwood friends, and they came down to watch the state meet the last day. So it was pretty cool to watch come up to Homa for us.
And Malia, for you as well, I mean, you're obviously a proud Royal. It has to be kind of neat just to know that so many big things have happened in the last few years since the two of you have been to school together. What does it mean for you knowing that not only you're a state champion, but you did it for your school and for your community?
It's a really big moment for us and for the community because just competing is what we love to do, and to be able to bring back that first place trophy, that's everybody's dreams. And the 50th year, that's amazing.
So I'm going to have a little fun here with the two of you, since you're not only teammates, you're sisters. And Mikayla, I'll start with you. Tell me a little bit about your younger sister here, what it's like to participate in sports with her, and what do you admire most about Malia?
It's been a great couple of years running with her. She's one of the hardest workers I know, and if I don't do my best in practice, she keeps me accountable. So it's great having her as a teammate, and as a runner, it's really important to have someone you can run with all the time. And it's cool having a girl that you can run with. Because a lot of times the faster girls you usually run with like a guy that's at their school, but it's cool having another female that can run with you all the time.
And Malia, what about you? What's it been like going to school with Mikayla for 3 years?
It's been amazing because I know I can always run with her. I should be able to be at that level, or she knows sometimes if I'm going slow, she's like, hey, she runs with me by my side and doesn't totally like defeat my mentality. And it's awesome having Mikayla as a teammate because she's always putting the team first. She wants the team to win. Like, an individual state title is great, but what she really wants is a team state title.
And we're going to put the sports off to the side for now because you're both done for the season, and certainly your Linwood career is wrapped up, Mikayla. You have basketball to come at Oregon State, but Malia, I know you've got another year left. But Mikayla, you had a special moment last Wednesday night, and as a matter of fact, we have a picture we want to put up on the screen right now. You were at the Scholar Athlete Banquet for Edmonds School District, and tell us a little bit about how that night went and what kind of an award you're holding there.
It was a fun event. They recognized 17 different Edmonds School District athletes, and I think there's a personal athletic trainer as well. And they brought everybody up listing their accomplishments and what they had done for the community, and it was cool to see everybody come together and recognize those athletes and what they had done for not only on the field but off the field as well.
Well, and I think a lot of attention goes towards what you've been doing on the court and on the field, and certainly there's plenty of articles out there talking about what you do as an athlete. But really, I think what gets lost in the shuffle sometimes, you've got a 4.0 GPA, and what are you majoring in college?
Either biology or bioengineering, and I want to go to the medical field.
So yeah, this is a young lady who is very, very focused on what she's doing in the classroom as well as out of the classroom, and I think it's nice of them to give you that an award. And I have to think that means a lot to you as well.
Yeah, it means a lot to me, not only recognize what I do in the classroom, but also on the court too.
So we talked about you going to Oregon State next year to not only major in one of those fields, but also to play basketball. Malia, you have a year left, so you have a little bit of time, but you started to think about college a little bit, and if so, is running in the future for you while you're going to college?
I know I want to run cross country and track together in college, but I'm not sure where yet, so I'm still undecided.
But you do want to you do in fact want to keep active and keep the running. And when Big Sister's home from school, are you guys going to still run together during the summers? Is that the plan?
Probably stay in shape too. Yeah.
Maybe I'll serve as a pickup game buddy for her.
There you go. So whether it's basketball or cross country, track and field, whatever it might be, I think the two of you will be doing that for years and years to come. Hey, it's been a ton of fun to cover both of you all season long. And Mikayla,
Thank you, Steve.
hey, congratulations on a great career at Linwood, and best of luck to you at Oregon State.
It's been a lot of
Malia,
fun.
Thank you, Steve.
we're not done with you yet, so you got one more year left, and maybe we'll see you holding up that trophy in the 3200 next year. And first things first, though, in the fall, we'll see you out there on the cross country course.
Definitely.
So stay tuned to see what the Pivec sisters have in store for the future. But until then, we've certainly enjoyed covering them all year.
Go Royals.
You know, the Pivec sisters are just a delight. This is the second time we've had them here in separate groups with other people, but how fun. They're just great kids. And I have to say, Steve, we need to correct you on one thing. And I want to point out, I never correct you on anything. But in the last segment with them, you originally had Mikayla actually doing the pole vault, right?
Which she could probably do, by the way.
She probably could. And the backstory is that we had actually had to retake that segment because
I kept referring to it as the pole vault
pole vault,
champion,
and they were laughing, and then we managed to get through that whole segment, even though there was that little slip up once. And rather than go back and shoot it again, we thought we'd just correct it. Now, Steve does know the difference between the javelin and the pole vault, but we
both involving long sticks, so I'm not
true.
that far off.
Yeah.
But how I did that, I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I guess I did say pole vault again in the second segment that we recorded,
Yeah.
and. I apologize, Mikayla. I do know that you are great in the javelin, but if you ever decide to take up the pole vault, we'll go back and replay that, because I think you could do it, because she wins the Gatorade State Player of the Year in basketball. She's cross country. She runs long distances, short distances.
Yeah.
She wins the javelin. What can't she do? Why not pole vault, right?
Well, and you know, that's a good segue into the Scholar Athlete Banquet. I was actually there for that event. This is the third year that my neighborhood news network of our websites, Mount Lake Terrace, Linwood, and Edmonds-Woodway, or Edmonds, so I'm thinking of high school on the brain here. We've sponsored a coaches award for that banquet, and it's actually the 15th annual. They've been doing this for 15 years, where they bring the athletes who have shown both academic success as well as community contributions in to honor them. And Mikayla, talking about her other accomplishments, I mean, she's got a full ride scholarship to Oregon State to play basketball, and she also, had this whole list of other things that she's been doing, and it was really great to recognize her. But there was also another student athlete that I wanted to mention, and we have a photo of her. That's Ari Gerard, and Ari is on the softball team for Edmonds-Woodway, but she also has this long list of accomplishments, and she's an athletic trainer as well. That's what she did throughout her high school career, in addition to being a softball athlete. And she was the student representative for the Edmonds City Council.
Very
She
nice.
would show up, till all hours of the night for city council meetings too. So it was great to see Ari. She actually won the top monetary award of $4,500, and it was nice to see her recognized in that way. And I just wanted to run through some of the other winners we had for that banquet. There were many community members and coaches recognized, but wanted to throw up one since we were talking about Linwood. Everett Edwards, there with Julie Stronsek, the athletic director. Julie just could not say enough. Of course, Everett, he's also been on our program.
Yes.
And he is retiring, leaving at the end of this year from Linwood, coaching the Linwood girls basketball team. But Julie Stronsek talked about how well respected and regarded he is amongst the referees in particular, that he gets all these sportsmanship awards, and he just has really been a role model for his
I
players.
should point out too, retiring from girls basketball coaching, but he's still a detective on the Seattle Police
Right,
Department.
yes, that's his
force, and
real job.
Does a phenomenal job with that too. So just
Yeah.
a great representation for us
Yeah.
in this community and in the school district.
Yes, yeah. So, best of luck to Coach Edwards for his future endeavors. And then I just wanted to run through quickly the other athletes that were recognized by school. We have the Edmonds-Woodway honorees, and these are from left to right. Susan Kim, Reed Whitson, Megan Kelly, Spencer Schultz, and Ari Gerard, we mentioned before. And then we also have from Linwood High School, Mikayla Kirkman, David Cooper, Mikayla Pivec, big surprise, of course, and Jordan Edwards, another actually Coach Edwards' daughter and another athlete we've had on the program. And then from Meadowdale, Ngozi, oh boy, here we go.
Easy, okay, Kate.
Thank you. I knew you'd
There's
know.
been a few of them going through the schools.
I have
absolutely.
been practicing that name, and of course I get in the spot, and you have to help me. Thank you. And then Tiffany Danagelis, right? Is that correct?
Sounds right.
Yeah, she's on the tennis team. Colby Sasoneth and Julio Abad. Those are the Meadowdale honorees, and if I have massacred your names, I apologize. And then Matt Lake Terrace honorees were Bryson Bruno, Jean On, Catherine Walter, and Ella Schroth. So congratulations, those were 17 students chosen for both their academics and their community contributions, as well as their athletic accomplishments. All right, and now the last thing we have to talk about are the other sports we haven't talked about, correct?
We have a few more to wrap up with.
Yep.
Not quite as many success stories as we had for the other sports, but again, this is state championship week. If you're still participating at this point in the season, you've had an outstanding season. Soccer, we talked about Edmonds-Woodway last week. They unfortunately lost 1-0 to Mercer Island in the semifinals. They then turned around and lost to Lakeside in the third place game. So the Edmonds-Woodway boys soccer team takes home a fourth place trophy this year. Not too shabby, the highest they've ever finished at state. Golf, we had our golf state championships taking place over in Spokane. Mikey Jensen from Mount Lake Terrace missed the cut on the first day by 1 stroke, so doesn't place over there. And then on the girls' side of things, Morgan Rude, who we've interviewed once earlier this year from Meadowdale, she ends up placing 22nd. Got off to a little bit of a rough start on the first day, got it corrected for day number 2. Didn't quite get the top 15 finish she wanted, but finishing 22nd in state, not bad at all.
Not
and
bad.
we talked last week about her winning the district championship by 10 strokes, so she has that to fall back on.
Yeah.
And then tennis took place over the weekend. Jeremy Ansdale from Mount Lake Terrace finished in 8th place in the boys singles tournament. Unfortunately, we didn't have anybody else place, but Tina Liu made it to the quarterfinals before losing 2 straight matches. Tina was the young lady from Mount Lake Terrace who we talked to earlier, who was participating in the state tournament as a singles player for the first time. She did doubles the last 3 years, but a nice season for Tina. And then we had 2 members of the Edmonds-Woodway boys doubles team that participated in the state tournament. Grayson Turley and Aaron Kaluki, both participating over in Kennewick. Unfortunately for them, they lost both of their 2 matches, but again, for them to get as far as they did, outstanding job. So we want to congratulate all of our athletes for participating in the state tournaments this week. Some winning titles, others not, but we're proud of all of them, and it's been a lot of fun covering them this year.
Yes, I think I was talking with one of our photographers who mentioned that, it's hard to lose when you work so hard. You want to go all the way. You want to get as far as you can. But to get to state is a huge accomplishment.
Absolutely.
You have to defeat a lot of teams or individuals along the way to get there. So you should all be proud of yourselves if you got that far. And we're going to come back one more time before we end our season and have some more athletes, we hope, next week who were state champions. And so stay tuned for that. And anything else I'm forgetting?
I think that's about it. It's been a lot of fun all year. And again, next week will be kind of a recap more than anything.
Yeah.
But again, all the seasons are done now. These students can now either concentrate on getting ready for graduation or just wrapping up school in general and getting ready for summer break. But again, it's been a ton of fun covering all of them, and we'll look forward to having one more week of this before we take our summer break.
Our summer break, that's right.
We'll definitely be back next week with a few more interviews and just talking in general about what it's been like all season long.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you next week.